Good morning, everyone. Stripgal. I'm playing some more Etrian Odyssey, and after doing some probably unnecessary grinding, I am ready to head on to the next stratum. So, just real quick here. So we've got we now have our B team. And this is going to be our Dark Hunter, a secondary Landsknecht with the Axe ability as her specialty, or as her focus rather. A melee focused medic with passive skills, which actually, so he actually has the patch up ability maxed out, which is slight healing after every battle. So this is really good for while you're grinding, because you just get to continue fighting, and if you take a little damage every fight, it just heals back. As well as the attack up ability, just to make sure that even if he's using, even if he's a medic with medic weapons with a staff, he's still got 74 attack, which is pretty solid. Got Felix, who is our I maxed out Scavenge for him, increases the chances of enemies dropping an item, and I've got him using Poison as his primary with Lightning as his secondary. We're going to be doing Poison Lightning on him, and our other Alchemist is currently Fire specialized, and we'll probably be adding Ice in as a secondary later. And of course, I really just needed another survivalist just to fill the spot. So I currently have been putting points into Ambush to increase the chances of getting a preemptive attack, and going to be putting a bunch of points into Chop, Mine, and Take just to maximize that. So when we're ready to, basically the idea is going to be when I take this party down into the labyrinth, it isn't going to be to try and make progress. It's going to be to, when I need to get like 10 of an item, I can take this party and get a bunch. And what they have done so far is get the tailbones for Shilika. Pretty simple. I had to kill a lot of firebirds to get it. And I think, yeah, Boneflail is what we've already got there. So I will be switching over to them when I need some of their specialties to complete certain quests. If I have conditional item drops that need a binding, that's what the Dark Hunter is specialized in. Basically, I can switch out from the more well-rounded typical party to the more passive-oriented party that can survive for a long time. It's not ideal. And it takes a long time to do some of that grinding. It's one of the reasons that I sometimes have problems with this game as far as finishing it. I've started a lot more Etrian Odyssey games than I've finished, just because I tend to go overboard on leveling, especially leveling secondary characters. That's the same problem I have with the Nippon Ichi Studios games like Disgaea. I mean, The Disgaea 2 run that I posted a while ago was blatantly because of that. Okay, in your journey through these forests, tinted blue as the ocean, you encounter a soldier. The worry creasing his brow lifts when he sees you, and he smiles as he greets you. You're the adventurers set down by the Rada on a mission here, and looking forward to meeting the skilled warriors who felled the king of the jungle. You've heard then that we were ordered to map the corridors of B11 and B12. These dreadful beasts and the twisted passages were at our wits' end. It's a pure relief just to have help from the fine members of Legends. It isn't much, but here's what their result so far in mapping the floor. And we get our first fight. Okay, so these ants are going to be the primary enemies that we're going to be running into for this part of the game. Get some new enemies and new items. I'm not seeing... Yeah, that's a very, very basic map. I'm not sure why they even bothered. We're gonna go straight down first. That's not what I was expecting. Okay. So much like the second half of the last floor we were on, we're going to be moving back and forth between floor 11 and 12 relatively frequently here. Okay, tree frogs. Love this part of the soundtrack as well. It's very... it gives me very Brinstar vibes from Metroid. Super Metroid specifically. Mad Worm. Remnants of clothing hidden under the plants in front of you. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be an encounter. I'm glad we got a heads up. on it at least. I'll go ahead and use a salve quick just to top off. Broken axe. Okay. So far, so good. Having the... We're a little over leveled, I believe. And we're getting these elemental... we're getting good elemental coverage. Unfortunately, these enemies are... Most of these enemies aren't weak to fire, which is going to be a bit of a... It's going to slow us down a little bit. Battle Hall's got me out here mapping this floor. I'm at the end of my rope. I can't take another step. I'll give you what I've done so far. There's a lot of pitfalls on this floor. Watch your step. Weird. How did you get over there to map that section, dude? Okay, before I get too far here... Before I get too far here, I do want to run over to the stairwell again, because I'm realizing with with them mentioning pitfalls, we actually have so I think part of the reason they gave us this stairway early with the comment about pitfalls is so that we can get back up. So what I want to do is just real quick. I don't want to go overboard on it. Guard ants. Okay. Okay, so my thought there is by just putting that on the map on the 12th floor, we now, if we fall, have a point to try and get to get out. Honestly, with all the icy things here, I think I may end up starting to level up. I mentioned that I was going to have this as a secondary ice focus, and I think that's going to start soon. I also think that when I get my next level up on Florence, I'm gonna put a point in that patch up ability, because being able to just get a little bit of HP back every level, I have a level. Let's go more 2-hit here. Got that maxed. We're working on Shield Master here. I think we're working on Stalker here. Yeah. Yeah. 3% hit points after every battle will add up. So I think I put one more point in ice first. That doesn't increase the cost. And now I'm going to put some points in ice up to raise the general damage. You must be the skilled adventurers the Rada promised would come. The soldier speaks breathlessly as he hands you a parchment. This is the map portion of the map I've completed. Be careful though, I've seen something dreadful lurking around the path ahead. You guys beat Serrano, so you should be okay, but be careful, just in case. Oh. That's like actually a good chunk of map. Doubling back real quick just to check for secret passages. This seems like the type of place where we would find one. What FOEs are gonna be in this neck of the woods? Do we wanna try it? Shell Tour. This might be a little rough. I think we can do it, but it's going to take a lot. That was not a lot of damage. Let's see how that compares to Blazer quick. Yeah, that did like nothing with multi-hit. So I think we just attack there. Let's do a salve. Let's see what flame does. Okay. Slightly more, but a lot more cost. So I think we're going to stick with freezer here. Well... okay, that did like 350. The first one did like 200. That's almost double. It is significantly more cost for it's significantly more cost for Morgan here. Like literally 3 times. But she's got a lot of I messed that up, didn't I? There we go. Didn't get the drop for it. Was a decent amount of experience at least. But it did take pretty much everything we had there. Like, yes, we still have health, but we just spent pretty much all of our TP on that. So, we're going to bounce back to Shelika's quick. Sell all of our new resources. See if there's anything good that we've got. That's a lot of new items. So let's check it out. Shamshir is a slight increase. That's not worth the cost compared to the Viking sword. Self bow. That's a 10 increase. We'll take that. We don't have a gum whip, or we don't need the gum whip on this party. I'll check in on that later. It's a 1 defense and 2 TP upgrade. Yeah. That's a little pricey for what we're getting out of it. Let's see, an iron plate, 12.9. Do I need another bone flail? Probably not, honestly. Okay, we got our first FOE encounter. It was a little bit... I mean, genuinely, that was not a pleasant FOE encounter. Not that that's the intention of FOEs. Like, they're supposed to be challenging when you first get to a new floor. It felt like a boss fight. We actually had to spend all of our resources to get through it, and that is how it should be going into a new floor. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of equipment upgrades for this party, especially. By the way, I didn't mention the reason that we're focusing the way we are on the tree frogs versus the ants is the tree frogs have less physical defense. I actually don't want to fight this guy. This is another one of the turtles, especially. I'm not ready for this. Again, we can take it, but it's a matter of resources. I don't want to take the time right now to fight it. We're trying to map this area. We're trying to get new resources. We're trying to get probably a few more levels in the process of all this. And quite frankly, I would rather come back when we've gotten a little bit more like, I'm putting those points into ice for right now for a reason. It's because I want to be able to fight things like that a little bit safer and not have to use all of my resources to do so. The madworms that we've been fighting are actually weak to physical attacks. So that's part of why I'm able to just take them down so quickly. Honestly, they're probably the best thing we're fighting right now, as far as just efficiency goes. Ooh. Hey! You find the oft-encountered Ronin alone for once. She notices you and turns to speak to you. So, you've reached the third stratum. You've come so far. But what is it you seek? To solve the mysteries, to become the strongest, or just to kill time? The mysteries of Yggdrasil, the reason for the labyrinth's existence. You are certainly not the only explorer seeking to unravel these enigmas. A faint smile creases the harsh warrior woman's face before she continues. Hear me then. Etria was once a small frontier town, in the days before the labyrinth was discovered, but ever since then it has become a boomtown with an influx of adventurers. What do you think will happen to Etria once the mysteries of the labyrinth are solved? You'll do what you must, I suppose. You are to continue down this road. Then consider where such a road must eventually lead. If after doing so you decide to continue, use this secret scroll of the Ronin. This secret scroll of the Ronin will be of use. Okay. So we have now unlocked the Ronin class. I am not going to go out of my way to build one up right now. And honestly, it's not one of my favorite classes in this particular game. But it does have some uses, and I may take a look at it later. Slight overcorrection there on the button, but that's okay. You see something slender and white protruding from the ground. Okay, mine. Point here. An old wand. Okay, so we found an axe and a wand so far. I don't remember that we have a quest. And there is our first booby trap. Like I said, these floors are interconnected. And the reason I went down first, Hex Frog is another new enemy. We should be able to just wreck this. So yeah, the reason that I made this earlier jaunt down here was to start the map for 12th floor, so that when we ended up falling down eventually, we would be able to navigate out easily. And this one wasn't too bad, but some of these, depending on where we fall, there's a chance that it will be more problematic. So, I feel like our first tumble there is probably a good spot to take a break. We'll do a little bit more exploring of the next floor down next time. Since we are right here on the stratum, or on the geomagnetic field, we can bounce back to town and check in easily. Actually, we really didn't even need to heal here, so I'm not even going to bother. But yeah, I think next time we'll do a little bit more exploring of the 12th stratum, or the 12th floor rather, in the 3rd stratum. This area that we're in right now is very, what's the best way to put it? Very ant heavy. And we'll be fighting the first of the stratum bosses, I think on the 13th floor. So we've just got a little bit of a ways to go. Hopefully you're enjoying. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.